welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 as the United States of America. We've had a little bit of chaos with successionist movements trying to break away. We've squashed them for the moment. We're incorporating states in Africa. We're establishing colonies in Africa. Expanding the colonies in Africa. We have just recovered Beijing. Which is millions upon millions of people to get new jobs for. And we do have a lot of demand. We're importing a lot of our own, importing a lot of clothing. We're not importing an insignificant amount of glass. We are the world's exporter in telephones. And the world's exporter in automobiles, which are both probably things we want to continue. Although we really don't need to push that very hard, because we have Ford and General Electric to do that for us. Both of which can get prestige goods. Oh, radios for General Electric, okay. And we got the prestige good enabled on Ford, so we're going to have a competitive advantage exporting cars to the world. We could also potentially get coffee. If we make enough coffee, we can get the reserve coffee. We need to get ranking production 3 in coffee. What's the domestic demand for coffee? Not particularly good. We are importing it by quite a bit, so I could potentially just subsidize our coffee production and just start drinking coffee. We've got 57 places where we can build it, so that would be plausible if we wanted to reserve coffee. And there's an argument in the short run, because we are using telephones to build more telephones. We're going to hold off on that. I think we're going to work on glass, because we need it for expanding the construction sector, and we're going to be expanding the construction sector. And then it's steel, which again, construction sector, and clothing. Yeah. Okay. So glass. Very happy they could build 50 levels of glass, just casually. Of course, we're going to sort by peasants. Actually, yeah, sort by peasants. No, actually. Where's our unemployed? We've got 1 million unemployed. Okay, let's start to work on the employed now before we go back to dealing with peasants. So Beijing. Put 50 of these in Beijing. We are working towards plastics, which, after landing factory, we're going to do plastics, which is going to be more glass, and that's oil to glass. So we're going to suddenly have a very high demand for oil, which is good for expanding the oil industry for the moment. So no real complaints there. Right now, the biggest concern about expanding in China, in Beijing, is not incorporated. So we collect no taxes. No, we collect barely any taxes. Let's say that. Got a feminist head of... Thomas Edison is a feminist. Okay. Not expecting that. Not in government. Yeah, not the head of the government at the moment, so that doesn't help me. They'd have to win the election. Although they're not unable to win, I'd say. I'm surprised we haven't had the feminism movement pop yet. All for women's suffrage. Oh, we don't have political agitation. when we had a free agitator slot. Fair enough. Let's, that. Degree, road maintenance, because construction efficiency in China. We're going to do a lot of construction in China. Just a casual 60 million credit deficit. Or 60 million credit relying. No problem. This is America. Modern day America's in trillions, right? I suppose that's something I can do. We could do with more innovation. And Beijing is a good place. I need to build that. Hello, Twitch Center. So, I'm not sure if you're trying to get me to say hi in a different language, or you're saying hi equals something in two different languages I don't speak. And my ability to read Russian and or Ukrainian is real bad. Why do I want to build up the universities? More rubber wouldn't be a bad choice. Let's build more rubber. Oh, we got unbuilt. No, we don't have unbuilt mines. We got gold mines we could build. It just wouldn't be ours. Peasants. Some rubber plantations. We're going to build oil wells, of course, as soon as we get landing craft. Not landing craft, plastics after landing craft. So not 5 weeks. Get a bit of indication when it's done. So I'm playing 5 months. Might be a little bit quicker once we have the universities. I guess the line going up. The more it goes up, the more it hides all the blemishes. Months left. Gonna ignore meat. We'd rather meat be made abroad than made locally. Would make iron. The other thing to look at is trade based on sort by imports. Fruit. Okay, we're gonna ignore the fruit. Coal. Coal's a pretty potential one. Coal and clothes. Yeah, we're importing thousands upon thousands of coal, thousands upon thousands of clothes. Let's work on the domestic coal. 6,000 coal. We can get all the ones in Beijing going, for example. Oh, that's all the ones in... Okay. Okay, let's build that, and then we're gonna have to probably check up and see if I need rail places. Do promotion. Fusion's up, should be rising. And yeah, now with those universities down, not much more research rate. Plastics in 7 weeks. Interesting name for Pakistan to form a pact around. Singapore. All places. Okay, there's Houseware Plastics. Okay. How much oil do I domestically have? About 15,000. It's gonna eat less than 15,000, so we just do that. So oil price spikes, but that's fine. Which means the exports turn down. And glass comes down. Which means imports should decline and exports should increase. Oh, and that heavily affected the profitability of construction. So we need more construction. Railways. A nice PM. Although we got lots to do. Although I will need to do electrification before we do radios. Well, or part of radios, I suppose. Twitch chat. Okay. Catching up some comments. In historical strategy games, we conquer lands that weren't previously ours. No matter what, we're not the best rulers online. We just like those who rulers off. Yeah, that's true. We had Beijing revolting on us, and Twitch chat has also said, and China doesn't look historically accurate. Yeah, historically, the Heavenly Kingdom, the Taiping Rebellion gets put down. In this history, the Taiping Rebellion causes China to go into its warlord period a little early. And in response to that, the United States comes in, just takes Beijing, and is colonizing Africa. Oh, and Portugal's colonizing Africa. So we got a race to see who's going to get more of Africa. United States or Portugal. One of the Twitch traders just said I don't speak earnest sentiment Russian, so I'm going to assume that what's being typed in the script I don't read is Russian and not Ukrainian offhand. Although I suppose it could still be Ukrainian. Okay, we got those guys trying to well, trying to stop us from colonizing them, so we can send a smaller detachment off of them. Send the Army of Florida, which apparently includes no one from Florida. Oh, do we have a glitched construction in the private queue? That's what it looks like. Yeah. Failed to put a financial district in Pennsylvania by the looks of it. Okay. Next one. No, I suppose driving the steel price down would allow us to build more construction, probably. So that's probably what I should hit next. Interesting. Okay, so the unemployed aren't in Beijing anymore. Fair enough. We've been building in Beijing pretty heavily. They don't belong to Beijing anymore. They're everywhere else. Although, granted, this might be the Chinese moving everywhere else. Fair enough. So then let's fall back to peasants. Beijing has the most peasants. I'm thinking about building steel, which is 2 infrastructure each. Let's build like 50 steel in China. Build a little bit in California and Washington. And wait for the queue to catch up. Okay. Most of India is apparently Pakistan today. Ending slavery somewhere in Spain again. Okay, we're earning a little bit too much money. So it's time for another set of construction sectors. We'll finish up the New York ones and build in Arkansas. I think Twitch chat is currently discussing the local temperature where they're at. Radios, okay, we're going to want to do that at some point. Of course, that's going to require local electrification in places we've got radios. Okay. 0.4, so 400,000 people we can unemploy, and they can become peasants in Beijing. I think we'll start to do so we can get some better income on the transportation. No, I probably don't want to do Social Security. Thinking about it. This is debating going on trying to do Social Security here. Not when we have this many peasants. Because what it's going to do is going to prevent people from demoting back into peasantry. I will take honorable then. Oh, it looks like the Republican Party may actually win the election. Social Democrats and the Feminists may come into power. We've got more rubber, I should do rubber. Iron's also tempting. Yeah, we've got more rubber. Oh, maybe not a lot of rubber. And then iron. Like 100 levels of iron. Oh, and then at some point I need to reevaluate. It's gonna be easy to do this in the market tab. Transport needs. Okay, it's not catastrophically bad in a lot of places. I think one thing I'm going to do is, and this is not meta, but it's going to work for me, is places I've got rail saving PMs on, we're going to subsidize. So if there's any situation where the rail isn't available, the thing will continue to be staying hired. So if I ever check that, I can get a accurate representation of the rail needs, the transport needs. Getting some Ukrainian mass migration. I got prestige radios. Oh, and I should start doing selective electrification. So I can turn the radio PMs on the telephone makers. president. SSN takes charge? Oh, I'm gonna let some time pass so we're not classified as a legitimate government, so we can actually see those things be active. Yeah, let's try to pass women's suffrage. Let's look at us a lot more... Theory, in the long run, a lot more workers. Good shots talking about the fact they just picked up U5. I've been thinking of picking it up. Although I was going to wait until after Christmas to pick it up. I can do that. Always reinvest in that. Peace, prepare for war. Famous cafe. $600 million GDP. And still a lot of people to employ, so likely to see that GDP continue to rise. It's time to invest in more construction sectors. This time it's Indiana that gets them. And then I wanted to do electrification, starting with the locations that have our electric industry. Or at least partial electrification. So South Carolina, we swapped to radios, is going to require 13 electric industries. New York is going to require 6. I'm just going to give it 6 more. Not good. Beijing, 20. And then Pennsylvania, 71. Oh, and apparently we've picked up enough coffee that we are moving towards having the world's reserve coffee. Twitch chat saying, looking at Africa, it looks like you've won the game. Yeah, well, to be fair, Victoria 3 is not really a game you win. It's a game you see how high you can get the numbers to be. And I definitely don't have as high of a GDP as I would have if it was China. I've gotten China up to 4 billion in the last run. Are there any bugs, lags, or crashes? You're asking about EU5 or Victoria 3? I don't know if it's Twitch chat talking amongst themselves or talking to me. The chat. Oh, and we're back up to the... That's a lot. Gold reserves? Okay. Definitely need more construction sectors. Asking us next. Protestant traditionalist movement. Oh, they don't like the feminist movement. Okay, well, they're gonna have to deal, because I'm not backing down. They'll calm down after the law passes. Just uncomfortably at 75% right now. The ruler having the wrong religion. Because the ruler is atheist. Fair enough. Thomas Edison, yeah. Transportation. Probably support mines and such. Let's start taking over. they're in the British one. Well, that is what it is. Action rifles. That's not even a steel frame. Swap everything steel frame. Oh, I can raise a little bit more taxes. Yeah, gonna be Temeko. I need even more construction. Political agitation. Victor repairs. Feminist. One of our social democrats changed to feminist. Sure. Maybe making feminism easier. Prohibition. No. We're gonna reject the temperance movement. There we go. I have need for even more construction sectors. Okay, we're gonna skip over Uganda here. Idaho. We're gonna do South Dakota. And we should have enough power that I can engage radio production. What do I want to electrify next? Actually, the rest we only have 125 textile mills. Be the place to go. Although that's two things I want to make. Vineyards. Slaughterhouses. Don't have the tech for that one yet. No, don't do electric fences. I technically only do it in places where we had electrification to start with, but... Another way to handle this is I can go from most populous states to least populous states one at a time. Which I assume is going to be... It's countries. Okay, so that's less useful because it's doing the unincorporated territories first. So Beijing's the highest, obviously. We have a list where it's not subgridded that way. What is I wanted irrespective of status. No. Well, Beijing's obviously the first. Beijing obviously has power problems. Fair enough. Beijing also has a power plant. If you... It just hasn't hired up, that's... why. Oh, also I did the math based on assuming that I had coal-fired, and I don't yet. So we're not working on. Whoops. That should probably go... Well, we'll finish compression nation first. Probably right after compression nation. Okay, so everywhere we've got a power plant, I should probably double the amount of power we're making. Okay. You want to continue doing this order? I think so. I think I want to push the construction sectors to the top, though. Nope, something did made the something less profitable. Subsidies. Electric industries. Okay, we're subsidizing electric industries quite a bit because I screwed up the power math. There we go. Women's suffrage. Deeds, not words. That's going to reduce the birth rate, but, you know, we can do this thing called conquest. Conquer the people we need. Instead, we want a higher ratio of them working. So... things get done. What we want after that? Well, I suppose first, as much as we haven't really electrified anything yet, we can go in here. There probably shouldn't be any demand. Obviously, in the places that were electrified, yeah, okay. So New York, power plant's hired all the way up. Pretty much. Okay, so New York just wants more power. So it's about 16, 17 more plants. And mostly they're just going to want more power. Okay, we'll just run that for the moment. Honestly, I probably need to go around just doing power everywhere, one by one. Well, hope you have a good night. Seeing one of the people in Twitch chat saying they're saying good night, so I suspect they're going to bed. Okay, I basically already have everything subsidized in Beijing. Let's just turn on almost all the electricity stuff that we've got for the moment. Honestly, might not be very much. Electric street lights. Yeah, I think that's actually all of it. Okay, so then we're gonna want that much power. You're saying 70-ish? 10... No. 35-ish. That's 2 for 70. So we're gonna want 20, 40, 60, like 60 more, okay. All the math's gonna change the moment we get one of the techs we're working towards. Although that's the tech half the one we're working towards, so it's way out, because compression condition is ahead of time. A little bit of stagnation in the GDP growth here, so we're trying to do electrification. Yeah, the next most populous location is going to be New York. We do also want to electrify. Oh, I forgot to electrify the rails in Beijing. Oh, that's one thing I could... Well, hold off. We want to electrify the rails. We'll skip straight to diesel. We're America. We have all the oil we want. So why electrify something that we're going to turn into oil anyway? Okay, New York. We're subsidized, but we're going to do electrification, so you're going to... That's fine. It might not be much. I'm going to subsidize you. Electrify you. We'll go so far as to get the power looms. Activate the rail cars. I think that's it. Okay, it's not super much. Like, that might just be enough power. Let's see. Okay, let's work on another industry that doesn't require electrification. Getting this passed. Putting a decent amount of paper. So 5K paper we want to build. Okay, select that amount. I'll encourage a little bit more of the electricity to actually get completed first. Or move on to the next state. Next is Pennsylvania, which actually needs some rails. It's building 3 of its own. I'm going to build another 3, just because we know we're going to want surplus at some point. Subsidize the textile mill. And this is the first place of the motor plant. Motor industry. It's going to be electrified as well. I'm kind of sort of brute forcing things by using subsidies at the moment, which is maybe not ideal. One of the reasons why the GDP isn't growing super fast. $80K. So you need like 100 levels of electricity more. We'll queue up 100. It's probably going to be a little overkill when we get full fire. And we have a reserve coffee, so now prestige coffee. Looks like the era of colonization may be coming to an end soon. It'll be conquest to expand in Africa. More rubber discovered. Anyway, we're working on what's going to be probably one of the most expensive techs to pick up, which is compression ignition. Although this is very valuable. This is going to make all the automobile industries twice as effective. It's going to allow us to run oil on all the mines. And this is why we're taking it ahead of time, because it's so powerful. Diesel on the mines, yeah. Diesel trains. Mass production for automobile industries and diesel industry for the motor industries. Music to my ears. Fund them. Oh, because we haven't the rails haven't come in yet. They'll be in next. Okay, next largest city, or next largest state after Pennsylvania is Minnesota. With the skyscraper. Okay, so we swap you. I don't even have any electrification here. That's fair enough. So I can just sort of future guess. Okay, so that'll be a 5 for the Arts Academy. And that's assuming we're actually on the next text. It's actually 10 right now. Oh, okay. I suppose we're going to get compression ignition, so we're actually going to just skip over that for motor industry. Probably means I have too many in the previous place, but that's fine. 3 times that. Okay, so that's 400. So 8 times 2 is 16, so another 26. Okay. And let's follow that up with... I'm going to call... One thing I'm going to do before we get to right in here. Let's just put a electric industry everywhere. This is one of the things that is always tedious in the game is electrification. Well, when you're big nations, it's tedious. When you're like 1 or 2 spots, it's pretty cheap and easy to do. Okay, those are bought. That's fine. And then coal. We got like 15,000. 15-ish. So it's like 100 levels of coal. Actually, 200 levels of coal. Search by peasants. I go up to like 280. Okay. Oh, looking at the time, I should put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. We're going to record one more part tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break to get up and stretch between parts here. Probably try to get the ads out of the way. I'm also going to replace my drink. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.